So here's the thing. I know that the civil rights movement has made some progress for Negroes. We got Brown versus Board of Education and desegregation of public schools. We got integration of public buses after Rosa Parks and the Alabama boycott. President Eisenhower even sent in the 101st Airborne Rangers to enforce the law in Little Rock. The nonviolent protests led by Martin Luther King Jr. gained some of the rights we has rightfully deserved all along through the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Things has been looking up for colored peoples, yet these past few months has brought on tough times. Months ago, on April 4th, Mr. King was shot on a balcony in his motel room in Memphis. He may have lost some support after he told his views on the war in Vietnam. I don't think any of that matters, if we believe in the same rights for our people in our country. Anyways, he did a lot of good for a lot of people, and his life should not have ended that way if you ask me. It seems a lot of people agreed with me because those peaceful protests turned violent that night. Major cities burned and violence raged. Here in Indianapolis, however, things was a little different. President Kennedy's brother Robert made a speech.
Luther King dedicated his life to love and to justice between fellow human beings. He died in the cause of that effort. In this difficult day, in this difficult time for the United States, it's perhaps well to ask what kind of a nation we are and what direction we want to move in. For those of you who are black, considering the evidence evidently is that there were white people who were responsible, you can be filled with bitterness and with hatred and a desire for revenge. We can move in that direction as a country, in greater polarization, black people amongst blacks and white amongst whites, filled with hatred toward one another. Or we can make an effort, as Martin Luther King did, to understand and to comprehend and replace that violence, that stain of bloodshed that is spread across our land, with an effort to understand, compassion, and love.
He said that he knew how mad and angry he was after what they had done to someone so important to us. He said he understood how angry he was and how violent it made us want to be, because how could someone kill someone that was so important in our lives? But he said something that hit hard that night on all the Negroes that heard. He went through the same thing with his brother John, but he knew that Mr. King wouldn't want us to turn violent because he was always all about nonviolence. I think that is the reason why we never did burn the city and lash out. Robert Kennedy helped us to realize that we are above the violence. We need to reflect how Mr. King acted if we want to continue to fight for equal rights for Negroes. We will never be okay with what happened in the last few months, but we can rise above and show that just because we lost our leader doesn't mean we lost our spirit. We will continue to fight for equal rights of colored people until we achieve those rights. I know many people agree that they will continue Mr. King's legacy. Anyways, Mr. Kennedy kept us from burning the city that night. Unfortunately, just a few short days ago, things turned bad once again. After giving a short speech at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, California, Mr. Kennedy decided to take a shortcut through the hotel kitchen. That ended up being a bad idea because there was a man, Sirhan Sirhan, waiting for him in that kitchen. He didn't even know it was coming. 3 bullets was the end of Mr. Kennedy in that hotel kitchen. Unfortunately, these 2 assassinations was responsible for the slowing of the civil rights movement. Don't get me wrong, we are still fighting, yet losing 2 people who had such an effect and impact on our fight. It has taken a bit of a toll on our current fight. However, until we reach equality in all aspects of our life and country, and as long as this country is based on the words of Thomas Jefferson that all men are created equal, we will fight until we achieve, we will get our rights, and we will get them now.